Here we are. Here we are. The first podcast of Not Another Leeds podcast, because another Leeds United podcast can't go wrong, can you? So I'm Danny. I'll be your host slash therapist for these podcasts. Because all Leeds fans, we need a bit of therapy, don't we? So every week I'll try and get a guest on and talk about everything that's Leeds. Speaking of guests, my first ever guest for this podcast is one of the original OGs of Leeds YouTube. He often gets mistaken for Timo Pukki. It's the beard, I think. But so, introducing Halifax's own two-time 2001, 2002 hopscotch champion, Mr. Joe Wainman. Say hello to Mr. Joe Wainman.
You're right. All right, mate. Sorry for being late, Danny. I'm
It's
sorry.
perfectly fine. Perfectly
Sorry.
fine, mate. How are you doing? You okay?
Good, mate. Good. Yeah, finally recovered from our walk. That was amazing. That we did together. I want to thank you live on your show for getting me through that, because you were an
Not a
absolute
problem.
saint getting me up Bailiff Bridge. Basically dragged me up Bailiff Bridge, people, on his back. As you can tell, he was in the army. You can tell he was in the army anyway. Without him, I wouldn't have made it. So I just want to thank him for that. And yeah,
No, it's
so
not
I'm
a
glad you're
problem.
doing this, Danny. I'm glad you're doing
Thanks,
it.
mate. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good.
It's we've been friends for a while now, haven't we? It's always something that I've wanted to put the feelers out and do. And obviously, I had a little stint with All These TV, but obviously because of work commitments, I had to pull out of that, which was a shame, really, because I enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the walk was very good. Met a lot of nice, good people. We had a right laugh. I learned to pin my head under the pillow, sharing a room with Joe. But Joe, it was it was like opening and closing a suitcase really fast. No, but
I was a bad snorer, eh? I'm a bad snorer, Danny.
Honestly, it's I've heard worse, mate. I've heard worse. But
okay,
to crack on, mate. Obviously, a bit of breaking news. Cal Dowlow's just signed.
Yeah.
3-year deal. Do you think it's a good signing?
Yeah, do mate. Yeah, 400k as well. I think I was even like backing it at between 5 and 6. So the fact that we got it got him for 400k, it's good. I'm glad it's done tonight. I'm hoping he'll play some part tomorrow, and I think it's championship experience. He's won it before, Danny, with Newcastle. So for me, it's a really good signing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and 400k. I mean, it'd been quoted. Like, it's 5-6 million for a 32-year-old who's what were he number 2, number 3 at Newcastle? I don't. I mean, obviously the sale of Wober. Oh, he's going on loan with a 500k, loan fee, which we've got change from that now. That's paid for Darlow in himself. But I think it's good to get that experience, like you say, championship experience in. And if Meslier is going to stay, which I've seen a theory where a tweet by London Leeds who he said maybe Chelsea buy him and loan him to Strasbourg for a year. Now I think that's a possible theory, maybe, but yeah, I think it just creates that competition for Meslier, doesn't it? If he does want to stay.
I don't know about that Chelsea deal. I don't know if they wanted him way back when he first broke into the Lorient team, but I'm not too sure what the future lies for him. I don't think it'll be at Leeds this season, mate. I think he'll be sold now. I think Leeds United, the way they're doing the business is getting one in, and then whoever that person's replacing, they're then happy to move on. So I think now that they've replaced Meslier, they're now willing to let him move on. I think he will. I think he'll exit soon, and we'll get money for him, and hopefully that'll be reinvested. Because, like you said, Vober's sort of paid for this one, so let's hope the Meslier money is reinvested in a striker, defender, whatever you like.
Yeah, or getting the pie stains off the walls. That might be a good start.
Well, mate, now that the guy hasn't got 3 jobs, i.e. stadium manager, training ground manager, and also IT guru, he might be able to sort the stains out.
Yeah, yeah, you never know. I mean,
Yeah.
going on to the 49ers from what you were saying, where we're moving in silence. Obviously, it's as Leeds fans, we fill that void where there's nothing there. We fill that void with our, you know, uh, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's like a
Catastrophe.
vacuum, innit? It's like a
Yeah,
vacuum. If there's
yeah.
nothing there, you fill it, right?
It's like we pour our catastrophes into there. Oh,
Yeah,
we're a skint club. You know,
yeah,
with that poor, we can't pay attention. Look at all
mm,
these signings and stuff. It's just. I feel like that because we've been so through so much.
yeah,
It's it's just natural for Leeds fans to do that. But I've seen
yeah,
you plenty of times say that it's good business because there's no leaks anymore. Obviously, Rads
yeah.
were feeding Fab quite a bit. Are you confident
Yeah.
with the 49ers?
Uh, w- what I will say, and I should have already learnt my lesson up to this point, but because of how well it went for a period under Rads, like it was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of Bielsa, and I should have already known this, but I just think because everything seemed on the face of it really, really good. It wasn't until Bielsa left that we really started to see it unravel. I'm reserving judgment. And the reason I say that is because they've been here since 2018. So they you know, it's all good and well saying, oh yeah, we were in the passenger and all that sort of stuff, but they still were about the gas. So for me, I'm trying not to get too carried away, but look, in the end, I just think as good as it was with Rads, he's almost as bad as the ones that came before him because of what he did at the end, bro. So I'm trying to reserve judgment
Yeah.
and just relax a little bit, you know.
The the whole thing with the stadium using that as a leverage, I thought that there were no coming back after that, were there, for
Nah,
Reds?
no, I don't think so, mate. I think he knew that as well. There was a little part of me that felt he was going to try and stick around for a little bit to see if we get promoted on that. But that, like you say, that was the straw that brought the camels back, Danny, and like you said, he would never been able to come back to Ellen Road, regardless
I
if he
think
had pink eye or not. You know what I mean? So
I don't know, maybe that's why he's always wearing shades to get away
true,
from the
true,
pink eye.
yeah, true.
So moving on to signings then. So they're under the new current regime. Obviously, we've seen Darlow signed today, which is we both think it's a good signing.
Yeah.
Ampadu, I think. I mean, I'll get your thoughts first, actually.
Yeah, just based on what we've seen so far, mate, I think it's an absolute win. I think he's what we've needed and what we will need in this Farker system. He's almost a sort of like for like replacement for Calvin, and we've seen Calvin Phillips struggle under Jesse Marsh because of the style of play, and Adams is more suited to that, and defensively is very good. But Ampadu, we need more from the deep line midfielder. I think in a Farker system, and yeah. So for me, I think he's perfect. I think the price that we got him for, Danny, is crazy, like 7 million. I think that will look like a snip in a couple of years' time. So happy days with that one, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen with him, it's just he wants to be there. You know, I've
Yeah.
said to other people that I think he's future captain. I know it's early. I know it's early.
Mm,
I
mm,
think he's future captain material. Just from the two friendlies that I've seen him play, he I just like he's organising, he's shouting. You know
mm,
what I mean? He's wanting the ball. He's coming to feet. A lot of people are saying he's the replacement for Calvin Phillips that we never got. Now,
mm.
I'm inclined to agree because he just wants the ball, and you can see him just shouting at everyone, organising defence, organising people in front of him, and I think he's future captain material. I mean, I think so. And at 6-7 million was it? Great business from the
Yeah,
club, I think.
yeah, yeah. And for a guy that's 22, that's done as much as he has, I'm not. I don't know if he'll become captain at Leeds United, but like, yeah, in terms of captain material, for the experience he's got for a lad of his age, it's insane, really. I guess that's what happens when you break through at 15, and I think he got his debut at Exeter at 15, debut at Chelsea at 16, and then Welsh debut at 17. So like, I mean, what were you doing at 15, 16, 17? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's mad, isn't it, really?
You don't want to
don't
know.
answer that. Yeah, don't answer that, Danny. But yeah, he's got a wealth of experience, definitely.
Yeah, and you can only go on to do good things at this club, I think, if he's backed up. I mean, say we've got Adams, which you broke a while ago. That the release clause is in his contract. So it came out in the Athletic to say that. But does Adams move on for you?
Yeah, I think the club have been aware of him going to move on for a while, which sounds a bit mad because the narrative is we want to keep him, but I just don't. I don't think he suits a Daniel Farke system, which is mad, really, because yeah, I'm chilled about him leaving, which is mad, Danny. I think we need more of a box to box type midfielder that can play alongside Ampadu, someone with a bit more technical ability. He's great for what is required of him, and I think he's better in a team that doesn't have as much possession as Leeds United will look to have. Maybe I'm doing him a disservice here, but I think he will leave. I mean, if the release clause is 20 to 30 million, whatever it is, I think it's a snip. And say Caicedo goes to Brighton, Brighton might take him, someone like that, So
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, you made perfect sense yesterday when you said that if Caicedo moves on for 100 million, it makes perfect sense for an Adams to move to Brighton.
Yeah.
He wants Premier League football, and I understand that. But then we use that money to then invest into our, the rest of our team there. But obviously, we've been linked with every man and his dog lately. So so Matty says here, opinions on Joel Perreault.
Perreault, yeah. I mean, he scored 2 today, hasn't he? One of them was
worldy.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, as much as I'm a Bamford apologist, even I'm done now. So I think we need to move on from it. Joel Perreault scores the goals that Bamford got in that 3-0 win against Villa regular, whereas Bamford, it's once in a blue moon. Sometimes Bamford misses from yards out. That's not happening with Joel Perreault.
No.
He might not be the guy. He might not suit the system. I know those that know the game more than me believe that to be true. But he knows where the back of the net is, and that's what Leeds United needs. So goals win your games, and we need a goal scorer. So yeah,
we
that's
do.
what I think.
Obviously, Rodrigo has left now, and he was our top goal scorer last season. Where I think it was 13 or 14 he got, and we need to replace that. And can you see Bamford? I mean, I'm like, when come next Sunday against Cardiff, I'm fully aware that and believe that Bamford is starting up top. I genuinely believe that because I can't see Rutter as a number 9. He doesn't work as a number 9 for me. We'll get onto that in a minute from the Forest game. But for me, we do need that cutting edge, that venom in front of the goal.
Yeah,
because that's what we've been missing. We can't rely on Nonto and Dan James up front. Because when I saw Nonto come in and he filled in the middle and he went for an header and he was like 6 foot above him. You know what I mean?
Especially in the Championship, yeah.
Exactly, and
yeah.
Obviously we've loaned out as well 6 players who obviously don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And you've got Christensen, who was just a passion merchant, giving all this, and as soon as he got the opportunity left, Llorente were just biscuit knees anyway. You've got Aronson. If you had Union Berlin, when he starts spinning around like a little turtle, it'd be like one of them turtle shells from Super Mario. You know what I mean? Where they shoot, it just keeps spinning.
Yeah.
And then you've got obviously Rodrigo and stuff, and then there's potentials going out as well, which we'll get onto in a little bit. But like you say, we definitely need. How many more signings do you think we need actually?
5.
5. Yeah.
That off the top of my head, yeah. So I'm thinking left back, centre midfielder, striker 10, 5.
But I suppose we do have to
Is that
remember that.
realistic? I'm not sure. Maybe not.
I mean, the window does close at the end of August, which we need to
Yeah.
remember because but obviously we could have done with, getting some more in by Sunday, obviously.
Yeah.
But Pascal Struijk, I put a tweet out earlier saying get your DMs in, and shout out to the guys at Leeds House, the Pub Talk podcast. They reached out and they said, "What's your thoughts on Struijk this coming season? Is he the great Cali, or is he Strike Van Disney? What are you saying?"
I hope great Kalim, yeah. If that is that a compliment? Yeah, I suppose it is, isn't it?
For his jawline, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I don't want him to move on now that Vorber's gone. So it was either or. Now that Vorber's gone, I think he needs to stay around the place to compete with Cooper. And look, if he played well against Monaco, and we know there is a player in there. I almost feel like all of the team regressed under Jesse, and him more so than others. I think his confidence was shot to bits. So I think another season back in the Championship, playing regularly under a manager that knows how to coach players, I think we'll start to see Struijk play well again.
Sorry, mate, you just cut out for a little bit. What did you say that last two?
Oh, right. No, so can you hear me now?
I can now, yeah. You just cut out for me. Sorry.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. No, I was saying for him to regain his confidence under a coach that knows how to coach players, it can only maybe a year in the Championship will do him good. You know what I mean? Because I think he was, his confidence took a massive hit under Jesse for me, for sure.
Yeah, I think just the Leeds fan base in general took a massive hit from Jesse Marsch's appointment. But going to the was it the I think it's a Man United game where I thought Struijk played okay. I thought we were seeing the remnants of what we had in the Championship before. I do, like you say, I hope his confidence does come back. And another player that I've been asked to talk about from your main man, Ash, Lord Ash. He says, "What's your thoughts on Pervader?"
Yeah. You're that lad, didn't he? I can't believe he's done that. I don't know. Well, no, I do. I can't believe he's asked this question. The jury's still out, mate. He's played well for 30 minutes the other day, once against Crawley, once against Man City, maybe. I don't know why everyone's all of a sudden saying he's the new number 10 we need. Let's wait and see. But, I once said Somerville was Jan Pervader 2.0, so the fact that I'm using that as, I guess, a term of... Yeah, exactly.
I saw them tweets come out. There's always a tweet. There
is.
But I've got a theory about Ash. I think Juan Martinez is real and Ash is fake.
I
think it's genuinely. I think it's Juan Martinez is the actual real one of his aliases. Shout out to Ash.
I love that. Yeah, top guy.
So moving on to the game then, the Forest game. Obviously, who were your standout players? I know you said that Pervader had a good 35 minutes, but
Pervader was good. Sam Byron was good. Jamie Shack was okay. Ampadu's just head and shoulders, I think, at the minute. They would be my main picks, mate. I thought Creswell played well as well. I think.
Yeah, it was good too. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't start with Clarkson. I thought he'd try and get Clarkson some minutes, but he seems to be sticking with Melia at the minute. Maybe it's because it's Premier League opposition, and you just wanted to see
window,
what
man.
does.
He's putting him in that shop window. Come and get Melia.
Oui, Le Chat, as we used to call him. Now it's just Le Shit. Anyway, there goes my monetization. Yeah, but I thought, do you know what was good to see? It was good to see that there were certain players who wanted the game, who wanted to play for Leeds, like getting to the ball, reading the pass, just that extra yard, which we've been missing for 18 months. Don't you agree?
Yeah, for sure, mate. Like I say, we've lacked any sort of footballing ability for 18 months ever since Jesse Marsh came in. That's the facts of it. I'll never let people forget that. So people who want to ask silly questions about certain footballers that I don't like need to remember that they were the ones that backed the worst manager to play at this, to manage at this football club, because we knew, man. Listen, when you put your best player on throw-ins, then I rest my case, mate. That's. Do you know what I
Because
mean?
yeah, we won a
Yeah.
competition.
Yeah. Can you imagine Erling Haaland or Kevin De Bruyne being put on long throws at City? Do you know
Goal
what I mean?
kicks.
I don't know. Yeah, goal kicks and that. It's mad.
Yeah, it's like, why did we only find out towards the end of the season that Weston McKennie could do a long throw in? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. How wild's that, by the way, for the guy that was big up? Yeah, exactly, mate. Tell me.
I was like that watching the game, and I was like, okay, where did that come? Where's that been all season?
I
Do you know what I mean?
know.
It's still, I just don't get I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe when I was the 1995 Kirby champion, maybe I should start taking throws for Leeds
Yeah.
United. But yeah, it were good to see just the patterns of play and the 1-2s, and just, I mean, Sinistera, if we keep him, it's a cheat code for me. He looks he just glides on that pitch, doesn't he?
Yeah, I've seen some wild takes from a few podcasts in the Championship recently on about certain players at certain clubs will be the best player in the division. And I think for me, if Louis Sinistera stays, then for me, he will be hands down the best player in the Championship, mate, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, I'd like to see Rutter and Cine on the wings, and obviously whoever comes in on the inside, because Rutter for me is not a number 9. He's not a number 9. And if you look at his goals from Hoffenheim and his play, he likes to cut in on the inside, and he got Hoffenheim's goal of the season whilst playing for us.
Yeah, it was mad, wasn't it? Yeah, great goal as well. Definitely an inside forward, if you like. So cutting in. I think Farker quite likes James, but yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I'd like Rutter one side, Cine the other, new number 10 and a new number 9, and you're looking at. I mean, yeah, like I say, that's lethal in the Championship. I think a lot of people are taking us lightly, mate. Leeds fans themselves, and I think a few more additions and we'll be challenging top 2 for me, Danny.
Yeah, I agree. Danny he's got a shout out to Danny, by the way. I met him at the end of the walk. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. Bamford will get 15 plus goals this season. Is that a wild take for you, or do you think that's good?
I don't know if it's a wild take, because he if we're playing well, he could well do. He could well do, mate. He's done it before. Can he stay fit enough? Not sure. Will he get enough minutes if we get a new number 9? Not sure. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that hot of a take, but I think Danny's banking on him being a regular starter, and I think the club are looking for a new striker. So I'm not sure.
And the Momo lad as well. I met you as well. Yeah. So takeouts from the Forest game. I think we're playing fluid football again, and it's good to see. Do you think, obviously, the name of this first episode is A New Hope, and that's talking from my personal feelings, that I think like we're entering, like we did pre-Bielsa, where he came in. Now I know that's quite wild for me to say, but I want to get that hope back again, which it's little remnants of it. And do you feel the same way with Farker? I mean, of the 3 candidates that we had,
Yeah,
Farker for me was the obvious choice.
I really like Farker. Again, I'm reserving judgment, just not on Farker. I don't want to get too giddy, because I think I gassed Javi Grazia up so much and it burnt me. I do think a lot of that was due to the fact that Jesse was as bad as he was, but Yeah, I do think Farke does
Put
have.
out again, mate.
I do think Farke has. Are you sure it's not? Are you sure it's you and not me?
No,
Me or not
it
you?
might be me. I'll
I
I'll
don't know.
see. It's the thing.
Farke's good though. Yeah, definitely, man, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. You did I can't do that. I can't do the impression. I was about to do it, but now I've just made myself look like an idiot, basically. But are you confident? Like, are you confident of what Fark is doing and where he's leading us? Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, of course, yeah, because I think each game we've got better, and I think we'll continue to get better. And like I say, I think we'll know more tomorrow. We'll see some more against Hearts, see how we're getting on, and I think by next Sunday we'll be cooking on gas, and Cardiff best be ready. Is what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first home game of the season is against Cardiff. Cardiff, for me, was always a bogey team for me back in the day, with Kumas
Yeah.
always scoring. So if you're the manager of Leeds United next Sunday, who the squad as it is, who was your starting 11?
So I'll go Darlow in goal, Ayling at right back. I think a centre back partnership of Creswell and Cooper, and left back for me would be Sam Byram. I would have in the midfield Archie Gray and Ethan Ampadu, and then Bamford leading the line with Rutter, Cine and James. Again, we're still missing a number 10, but I would maybe employ one of them to play in a central space, because I just think that four should be able to cause Cardiff enough problems with like Ampadu and Gray doing the bits at the base of the midfield. So that would be my pick at the minute, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
4-0.
obviously it's just about to ask.
Oh,
Thanks, Leeds Safe,
right.
for turning up as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, I've been like you say. I mean that four, they should cause most Championship teams problems.
Yeah.
Would you? I mean, obviously, I'd go with Darlow. I'm assuming Melier won't be here soon. Sam Byram. Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Because Evans signed a contract to play pre-season games, does Byram, has he signed a deal so he can play season games for us? I don't know how that worked.
No, I don't know either. So yeah, no, I'm not too sure. I think he will be given a deal though, just because of the injury to Firpo as well, mate. I think it makes sense. Farker likes him. He's got good leadership skills. He can play on the right or the left, and he's looked good. So just give him a new deal, and he'll be on reduced terms. He hasn't got a club. It's going to be light work for Leeds. So yeah, make it happen for me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's a decent backup option.
Yeah.
And easier standing because Firpo's missing, Harrison's missing, and obviously Adams is missing through injury.
Mm.
But is Firpo pushing for that transfer? Do you think?
Um, I think he probably won't exit, because I don't think there's that much interest in him, and I don't think he's fit enough or has shown that he can stay fit for a long enough period of time. So I think we're stuck with Firpo. It'll be one of them, mate, where he sees out his bloody deal at Leeds United and will have paid him millions, but it's what it is.
The old Wassim boy who never played
Yeah,
for
one
us.
of them ones. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, I know it's too early to predict where we'll finish or where we'll think we'll finish. But if we get more additions, like we need that Buendia 10, as people are saying, we need another left back. I mean, I know that is it Mishu was linked with us last week or week before.
Yeah. It's gone quite quiet,
Uh,
hasn't it? That.
and yeah, I mean, but like you say, that they like to move in silence, don't they?
Mm.
So, but yeah, I think, I mean, I want us to be top six. I'd like to be top one, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
But it's obviously it's so hard to predict at the minute. Ooh, I'd like us to obviously jump straight back up like all the other
Yeah.
Leeds fans and stuff like that. But I mean, it's it's certainly. I mean, from what we've seen from Farke so far, there's nothing why we can't be confident. For me, would you?
No,
Where do you see? I mean, for me personally, I think it'll be a bit just a little stop start beginning of the season, and then I think we'll fly like he did in Norwich's first season.
I hope you're right, mate. I think, listen, we've got to be challenging top two. We've got to be. I think we've got enough in the squad. Yes, we need loads of additions. I hear it before people come at me, but like I mentioned, that front four there. I mean, yeah, people think the Championship's much better than what it is. I think Middlesbrough, Leicester, Southampton, Coventry, Ipswich, maybe a few others, but I think we should be challenging top two for me, mate.
So like Ipswich beat RB Salzburg the other day, but I mean pre-season means nothing, does it really?
No, it means
I
nothing.
mean, Bielsa's first pre-season, we did rubbish, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, we do seem to forget that there are established teams in the Championship, which are like, I mean, obviously Borough just missed out. Coventry lost in the final. I mean, obviously Gustavo Hamer, he's not moved on yet, has he?
No, it's gone very, very quiet on him, mate.
Yeah, I mean, like the 49ers seem to be moving in silence, which is from a content creator's point of view, is not very good.
No, it's tough.
But yeah, I forgot to mention as well, the intro music is in the link below and the link to Joe's show. If let's face it, you're all here because of Joe, so it's linked down
true,
there. But thanks for doing this, Joe. Anyway,
it's a pleasure, mate.
So go to any questions, put them in the comments. Let's go into the comments right quick. And it says, can you share your thoughts on the video that was released by Leeds? Is that the transfer video?
Which video?
Let's have a look.
Which video, Stace? I don't know what video she's on about.
All right. Well, here we go. Let's have a look. Sorry, this is not very good content, but I'm just
it's fine.
Trying to get the right. Yeah. So five more signings, like you say. I would like to left back, centre mid, AM, another striker, and maybe just over centre midfielder. I think that would do us pretty well.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe, I think we've covered most everything like that. Thanks very much for doing this, Joe. Obviously, it's a shorter one this week, but thanks a lot again. Everyone who's watching, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Thanks very much.
Thanks, folks.